All right, let's get her back in here. I know she's coming.
I'm not gonna, sorry guys, but I'm not gonna accept any requests except for Christina's right now.
The space at this moment, it's been recorded, guys. All right, so let's hope that Christina comes back and she says what she needs to say.
Okay, let's get her in here. Oh my God, this is fucking unbelievable.
Rashid, now we know it's her.
Yeah, I just
Kelly, are you
to come up to her after she's done talking. I just want to apologize for calling her a liar and a fake account and a troll. That was really bad.
Yeah. Oh, you feel bad for being an asshole, really? Really? You, Rashid, of all people.
I don't feel
That's interesting.
Please,
Can you apologize now and send her a link to the room? Because I don't think she found her way here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get her a link to the room.
I will give it to her. She's dope. There you go. I send it.
Yeah, and you know, like, honestly, I remember Christina when she was when she had her other account on here, and I think she deleted it because like people are mean and they would bully her, and like, you know, it is really hard to, you know, be someone's spouse in this as a dev here on Twitter, because they were rough on her, you know, and she didn't deserve it.
All right, well, let's get her back in here. Oh, hello, Christina.
There you go.
Hey, can you all hear me?
You're good.
Yes.
Sorry,
yes, I'm so sorry about that.
I got cut off there.
Okay, well, I apologize. That was actually my fault. It wasn't working on my end, so I got the new space, and we're good to go. So I guess I have to be, you know, responsible here, and I do have to have a certain level of skepticism that you are who you say you are. I'm not saying I don't believe you. What I'm saying is, how do we verify that you are in fact Christina Lukin?
Lukin.
Lukin, I'm sorry. Russ's wife.
Is this not proof enough?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
It is because I personally thought that was a fake account, and I went on a DM to Christine herself, and then she literally spoke to me on Facebook too, and she accepted the request. She spoke, so I can confirm that is actually her real account.
Right? I have had a lot of fake or people make fake accounts of me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. People have hacked into my older children's accounts pretending to be them. It's just what hackers and scammers do. But I assure you, I have had the same exact Facebook account for over 10 years. I've never changed anything.
And I do know that when she met some, I did not go to the Vegas event, but friends of mine did. And when you met them there, you added them from that account that you were using to speak with Rashid earlier. So
yes, I did.
She
from
does.
What I can tell, it's legit. But
she does have pictures from the same account that she spoke to me on Facebook with Russ all the way back to 2011 that was posted.
And that's when we got married. We got married on March 3rd of 2012. And I've had a Facebook account way before I even met Russ.
Yes, because when you spoke to me, I was still skeptical about the account. So I went through the photos, and you actually did have pictures with Russ from 2011 on your Facebook. So I knew that was a real account.
I just want to put this out there, though. I have to be really careful about what I do and what I say, because I was advised by my attorney to not even engage with anybody on social media until the divorce is final, because he can sue me for defamation of character. And I assure you he will, because he's done it before.
He has sued you for defamation of character or other people.
Yeah, well,
Christine, you need to know that we have your back. You have people that really wants to know about more information. But if you're not able to say nothing about it, there's no you can do. But we know that your account is
Coco,
not
Coco,
fake.
hold on.
What is done, and honestly, I was with Russell when he had nothing. Okay, I met him in Kodiak, Alaska, where I'm originally from. We got married there in 2012. We have been married and together for a total of 12 years. We have a 10-year-old child together, along with two older sons of mine that are not his. He was in the Navy for 10 years, and he was a federal firefighter. He was unemployed for over a year because when we lived in Savannah, Georgia, and he worked for the logistics company there, he ran that company into the ground, I assure you. He put us $190,000 in debt because he never reported the income to the IRS and never paid taxes. We had lost everything and had to sell everything that we owned because he lost his job because of that, and we had to move back to Alaska. When we moved back to Alaska from Georgia, I had to move in back with my father because he was unemployed and we were homeless. When I was living with my father for 3 months, Russ was overseas in a contracting firefighter job for in Saudi Arabia. And when he was over there, he ended up getting fired from that job because he was making alcohol with his roommate. This is all public information. All you people have to do is do your research. Okay? In Alaska, he almost got arrested and went to federal prison because he forged a signature for opioids. Okay? There is a paper trail and history of drug abuse with this man, along with Samantha Katz, who is now having an affair with. Of course, he's going to stay connected to that woman because that's his drug dealer.
When you say drug dealer, what kind of drugs do you mean? Are they prescription drugs and she has the prescription, or is she a drug dealer?
They used to be. When we lived in Savannah, Georgia, he was on tramadol for his back because he got hurt when he was in the Navy, and he was on some other high potent stuff that was almost like heroin. And when he wouldn't have that stuff, he would literally have convulsions and go into withdrawals. And that's what he was on when we were in Alaska. And they would not give it to him anymore, and he couldn't afford to pay for them anymore because he didn't have a job. So he forged a prescription for them. We literally had cops show up at our house, and he was going to get arrested, and he was go to federal. And the only reason he got out of that is because of his military background. He almost lost his security clearance because of that.
And that was for forging a prescription because he was addicted to opiates.
Yes. And now he is addicted to cocaine heavily. He spends $400 to $1,000 a week on cocaine just for himself.
That's why the weight of laws and everything, right?
So all y'all's money is going up his nose.
Damn.
That is that. Hold on. Let's hold on. Just one sec. So, wow, this is unbelievable. So, Russ's ex-wife is here. Christina, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name.
Let's clear that up. We are in a separation. We are not legally separated. We are still legally married. I am still his wife. He is still my husband. What he is doing is adultery. He
100%.
has been threatening me that he got a restraining order on me and that he filed a divorce, but I have yet to be served and signed for anything. I have not been served with anything. So all he's doing right now is making threats and trying to scare me. He refuses to pay child support for his son. So I had to file for child support through the state of Texas Attorney General's office. So now he has no choice.
Can I ask, do you know approximately how many millions of dollars Russ had cashed out of Saitama?
I for a fact if it's millions, but it's close to, I can tell you that. I do not have access to his wallet or any of that. I'm not tech savvy like that. I have no clue. Honestly, you guys, I have not paid attention enough in any of this. And I have no idea how much money he even has. I don't know what other coins he's invested in. I have no idea how much money in Saitama he even has. He has taken me off his bank account. I have no more access to his money or his accounts. He froze all assets. I have no access to credit cards. I have none of that. The only way that I can get that is from my lawyer when we go to mediation. I do not have that information right now. What I can tell you is the things that he bought and how much they cost. I have the title for the Lambo. I have the titles for both houses. I have the title for the land. I have receipts of purchases for expensive jewelry he's bought for himself and for me. That's all I can tell you right now.
And
what's the status of the house that you guys were building? The 7,000 square foot house.
Yes, we did already pay $30,000 for an architect to draw up the plans. The plans have been finalized. We paid $30,000 to put a road in on the property. So that is all money that we lost out on because we will not get it back. We did not start building because we're going through a divorce. Our real estate agent has listed the property for sale. We bought that property for $300,000 cash, and it'll be sold for that amount.
All right, I do have, all right. It's a very simple, respectful question. So before all of that, Russ lost everything. He filed bankruptcy. You suffered because of the mistakes that he has done. Now, my question is this. Everything, I mean, the house, the two houses, the car, the new car, the jewelry, everything. Did all of that come after Saitama? All of that
Yes.
came after. All right.
Oh,
Then I
yes,
guess.
absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I mentioned it earlier, and I've mentioned it to people in the Facebook messages, but I'm his third wife. Okay. He was married before me. And when I met him, he was paying $2,000 a month in alimony to his ex-wife. Okay. He was broke. He had nothing when I met him. We moved from Alaska for him to get this federal firefighting job here out on the Kingsville base. I came with him here, obviously. When we moved here, I swear to God on my son's life, we had nothing. All we had was 3 suitcases, one for me, one for him, and one for our son, and the clothes on our back. We came here with nothing.
So that whole thing about how you guys were rich before crypto and all that other stuff, that was bullshit, right?
Oh, that's a blatant fucking lie. Blatant lie.
Okay.
So well, everybody, let me introduce. Hey, GTC, it's nice to see you. Nice to talk to you. This is Damn That's Crazy, good buddy of mine, and we got CoffeeZilla in the building. Let's go.
Let's go. What's up,
going on?
CoffeeZilla?
Hey guys, I want to just chime in real quick here. So we're getting the official scoop that you guys did not have money before Saitama, and that essentially the only way Russ could have gotten all this money is by siphoning it from the project to go up his nose in your kind of like way of saying it, right? Because he's spending it all on cocaine. Is that what you're saying?
And
that
Lambos,
is correct.
And the Lambo. Don't forget the Lambo and the house and the jewelry.
Let's let
yes,
Coffee.
so-
Let's let Coffee and Christina talk real quick.
Okay, so the Lamborghini, yes, he bought that and he paid the whole thing with cash, and that cost like $300 and something thousand, and he sold that a couple of months ago to get cash to invest in a local bar here in Corpus Christi, Texas. I do not know the name of the bar. However, I have been there and I've seen it and I've looked at it with my own eyes. It is still under construction. He did go and sign for a liquor license. He's just waiting for that. So he sold the Lambo. He no longer has that. He invested in some kind of media company. I don't know, some media company out of LA. I have no idea about what that is about. Um, we bought a rental house that he paid $300,000 cash for. That is going to be listed for sale pretty soon. If he doesn't get that in the divorce, then we will be selling that.
Well, how did he have the cash to pay for that? Do you remember him ever talking about how he got access to all this cash?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Do you remember him ever telling you how he got access to all this cash?
He took it from Saitama.
So he would tell you that. He was open with that. That was an open secret.
He was pulling that money out of his Saitama bag to pay for stuff. And he has other coins that he invests in also that he has made money off of that he's pulled out of that also. But he's also a Navy veteran. He was in the Navy for over 10 years and he's a 100% disabled vet. So he does get like a lot of money from the VA. So that's our normal income. But I'm telling you right now, when he was a firefighter, we were living paycheck to paycheck and we were suffering all the time. All of this temporary wealth that he has had in the past year and a half, or I should say that we had in the past year and a half has come from Saitama. That is the truth. That is correct.
Because with all due respect, I mean, being a disabled vet does not get you enough money to buy your house.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Correct. When did you see Russ kind of spiraling out of control with these addictions that you're accusing him of and these other things?
He started spiraling out of control about 5 or 6 months ago.
When V2 just came in? When Saitama V2?
Yes. So one of my older sons had reached out to him the other day when he found out about him taking his mistress to Jamaica. And he literally, and I have the text messages to prove it, he literally told my son, like he was justifying his addiction to cocaine. And he told my son, because my son asked him, how do you even get visitation of Landon if you're using? And he told my son, I run 6 businesses, never mind what I do.
Do you have these text messages?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you should DM them to me. Yeah. Okay.
And he is paying this girl for sex.
No, Yoshi, you should definitely DM that to the rug pull papers too.
I have the receipts for that too.
You have
receipts? This is not him, people. This is not him. This is not the Russ I know. Is not the Russ I fell in love with and married. I can promise you that. This is the addiction talking, and this is the addiction in action. He is not himself. He lost over 100 pounds from coke. He is making y'all believe that he's in the gym every day working out. That's a blatant lie too. He snorts blow from the moment he wakes up until the moment he goes to bed every day, all day long, because when he's coming down off of that stuff, he gets really sick and he gets a really bad migraine. So he'll snort more blow to make the migraine go away.
Oh my gosh, this is an incredibly serious addiction. Do you feel like Saitama has enabled this addiction to some extent and like made it worse?
I wouldn't say Saitama. I would say the things that are going on in his personal life. I think that he's going through stuff and he's fighting stuff, and I think he's hurting, and I think that he's just using this girl to get back at me and to hurt me too, because that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very petty, vindictive, spiteful roller coaster of shit is basically how I can put it. I don't know what else to say. I don't really have the words. All I know is this is the most humiliating, disrespectful thing anybody has ever done to me in my entire life. And it's really hard to talk about. And he doesn't care how he's hurting his son. I mean, my son asked me 2 days ago, he said, Mommy, why is Samantha in Daddy's bed? I mean, he had that girl over there in his bed doing coke with my son there. Like, you people do not understand the magnitude of this situation. It's really, really bad. And the thing that sucks the most is that you all know who I am. Y'all met me in Vegas, or half of you did. You know I'm his wife. You know that girl is not his wife. He's still married to me. I got them on my security footage, okay, before I took off to Alaska. And this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I caught them making out on my security footage right on my fucking front porch, okay? I caught them and I heard everything that they were saying and I saw everything with my own eyes. And I forwarded the videos to both of them and they straight up lied. And I was like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm taking off. I'm leaving. I'm divorcing you. And I left. I left everything. And I went back home to Alaska because I had to remove myself from the toxic situation because that's how bad it was. And when I left and I went home back to my family, he was threatening me that he was going to report that I abandoned my son. And so that is why I came back. I came back for my son. I do not want the money. I don't want any of this shit. I don't care about any of it. I come from a very, very poor family, okay? I know what it's like to have nothing. But all I want is my son and to never have to see his face again. That's it.
That's obviously horrible what you've experienced. And I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when we say, we're sorry that you're going through this. If I can ask you, what do you think needs to happen to Russ to make him stop? Obviously he's on this path of destruction, and he's stealing people's money allegedly, and he's got these horrible addictions. But what needs to happen to him? Because he's not going to stop, right? And at this point, he's damaged so many lives of different people, associated with Saitama, at least from what you're saying. So, what do you think? Do you think there needs to be law enforcement involved? What do you think needs to happen?
Well, I tried to get law enforcement involved.
Really?
I tried to get law enforcement involved, and they said to dispute right now, and that because there's nothing that has been reported by a judge as far as visitation or who that my son gets to live with or anything like that. All he's doing is threatening me right now at this point. I haven't been served with anything. So because there's no proof stating who has custody, blah, 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 anything like that, like the cops just keep saying it's a civil matter and they can't do anything about it. Texas is a no-fault state. And everything has to be split 50-50 here. Now, I had consulted with a lawyer in Alaska because that is where we got married. And so I asked the lawyer there when I was there in Alaska if it would benefit me to file for a divorce where we got married. But Alaska is now out of jurisdiction because we do not reside there anymore. Because we're in Texas, I had to file for a divorce in the county that we reside. I had tried to get a restraining order on both him and Samantha, and I was denied the restraining order because in Texas, in order to get a protective order, it has to be an immediate threat, and there has to be proof of some sort of domestic violence. And I'll just put that out there right now. Russ does not abuse me physically in any type of way. He's never laid a hand on me like that ever. It's just that it's the mental and emotional and narcissistic abuse. and all of this drama and the harassment and the, you know, it's just it goes on and on and on, and it's exhausting. And I tried to get a restraining order on both of them and I was denied. So believe me when I tell you I am doing everything that I can to involve law enforcement and everything. I even told the people at the courthouse that there's drugs and cartel involved. And because I do not have pictures and video proof of these dangerous people, they will not allow me to get a restraining order on him. So
What do you mean?
now
What do you
my
mean
hands are tied.
the cartel is involved? Can you kind of expound on that?
What's that?
What do you mean the cartel is involved? Do you have
his drug dealer is somebody that who had just got out of prison like 6 months ago. This guy was in prison for over 10 years for drugs. And this guy has murdered someone before. And this guy is he's has connections with really dangerous people.
So for all the people who kind of like, there's two sides of this, right? There's obviously the things going on with the family. There's also the things going on with, you know, the money that he's taken from the project. What do you think should be done on that side of things, right? Like not even just like the civil, like the divorce and all that kind of stuff in custody, but actually like the stolen money. What do you think should happen to your husband?
He'll probably end up in prison. It's fraud. It's a scam.
Wow.
I was even advised by a lawyer I had a consult with that him not reporting the money that he has tied up over there in Dubai. What he's doing is illegal. It's fraud. Do you people not understand that? He is not reporting that to the IRS because he doesn't want to report it as income because he would have to pay child support based off of that income.
Yeah, wait a second. You're telling us he doesn't report on to the IRS his income, his proper income? You're saying that? Like, how much do you think he's not reporting?
Millions.
All of it? Like myself, Faltron, Skywalker, Riddler, like we picked this shit apart months ago and said that he's probably not reporting any of his income.
The last time that Russ has ever showed me proof on his phone of his wallet, he had almost $10 million there. But that was over a year ago when Saitama first started.
And that was probably just in one wallet.
And now I have no idea how much money he has in there.
I do not have a big Saitama.
He has never ever set me up with a Saitama account. He set his mistress up with a Saitama account and she made 60 grand on it.
So you're telling us he committed tax fraud on top of a regular fraud on top of scams, and he's addicted. I mean, so you do see this ending up in jail for him?
Yep.
Wow.
And that is completely out of my hands. Once that this divorce goes public, and I'm telling you people right now, this is why he is withholding the assets and why he froze everything and why he refuses to give me a dime, because he knows that it is Texas state law that adultery is illegal here. And he also knows that Texas state law, being married for over 10 years, I am entitled to everything. That includes everything from when he was in the military until now. And so what I feel like he's doing right now is testing me to see how I'm going to play this out, because money is power. And he took it all, and I have nothing. I swear to you on my life right now, I have $100 to my name when this man is out there in Jamaica with another woman and refuses to pay child support for his son. That is disgusting.
Is he currently in Jamaica, and is that the real reason why he didn't go to Dubai? Because a lot of us have speculated that he wasn't able to actually attain a passport, or that Dubai wouldn't allow him in, because he has used the same excuse 2 years in a row, claiming it was the COVID PCR test.
Yes, I can vouch for that. Russ did have COVID the first time. He was very sick. He was very, very sick. He did have COVID the first time, but he got COVID from Samantha because she had COVID and they got COVID after we came back from a family trip in Mexico. That's when he got sick. Okay. But he has never been vaccinated. Okay. And he has a fake vaccine card that he literally paid somebody in California for the last time he was in LA.
So is that the reason he wasn't able to go to Dubai? And he actually made comment that he tried to get to Dubai, but because of the vaccine card and the fact he didn't have the physical card, only the picture, they wouldn't allow him in. Do you know if he ever had intention to go to Dubai?
Let me tell y'all something. I know that he was on his way to Dubai. I know that he bought the plane ticket. I was with him the night before he was leaving to Dubai. He was up all night until 6 a.m. doing cocaine before he got on the plane.
And he lied because of that is part of the reason he didn't make it there?
I think that he did not go to Dubai because he had his mistress with him and he didn't want people in the community to know that he was with somebody else other than his wife. And when he was trying to get to Dubai, they wouldn't let him in because he had a fake vaccination card. It's not real. And he took a picture of it because he doesn't have the card because I have it. And so when he posted on Twitter and said that he was rerouting all of his flights, yeah, he rerouted them with his mistress to take her to Jamaica. And yes, he is still there. I got the proof about him being with her in Jamaica from a mutual friend on Snapchat. That's how I got the proof. And he was taunting me with it, like sending me pictures of like, and I knew it was her, and like she has tattoos all over, right? So he was only like taking pictures of like areas of her body that she didn't have tattoos, and I'm like, you really like insulting my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting. And then when somebody was like, "Did you know that Samantha is in Jamaica with your husband?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they sent me those pictures, and but now he's going down for adultery, and I'll take him for everything he's worth because I do not care anymore. What he's doing is not okay. He is destroying his family, he's destroying his son, and it's not okay, and he will not get away with this.
You are absolutely correct. He isn't going to get away with it because first, the community that he robbed is going to get their shit off the fucking top, the way that they should have been the last year and a half. I think everybody in this room was invested in this token at some point, and he robbed all of us to buy Lambos and buy blow. We're talking bank fraud, wire fraud, forgery, mortgage fraud, tax evasion. Like, he's going to lose his VA benefits because obviously, like, he violated everything that makes you get VA benefits in the first fucking place. So yes.
Also, I wanted to mention, I tried to show proof of his actual bachelor's degree because he put on Twitter and is lying to the whole community that he has a master's degree in finance. Y'all, is a blatant lie too. He never went to an elite college, okay? He went to University of Phoenix online. And the reason why he was doing that is because we were so broke and so poor that he started going to school so he could get paid by the VA to have some sort of income coming in. That's how broke we were. So that's the only reason why he got a degree, was to use up his VA benefits for a paycheck. It wasn't because he wanted to. And his degree is a bachelor's in business administration. It is not a master's degree in finance. That is a lie.
Christina, can I ask you, do you know if he has any ties to these other tokens? Impact XP, Grove token. There's been, some people that have have mentioned that they think he has some ties to these other tokens. Do you know if he is involved with any other tokens besides Saitama?
I actually have no idea about that, you guys. I really don't, and I'm sorry because I just have not paid close enough attention to any of this crypto stuff, and that's only because I'm not tech savvy like that. I'm not business savvy like that. I do not understand how crypto works, and so I never even would hold a conversation with him about any of that because I never understood it. So I just didn't care. You know what I mean? And so that's why he was doing all these things behind my back because I wasn't paying attention. Well, now my eyes are wide open and everything makes so much sense and all the puzzle pieces are coming together about all the lies he's been telling. About Grove, about these other tokens, I have no idea. I know that he has said before that he invests in other tokens, but I do not know which ones. I don't know what kind of involvement he has with them. I'm sorry, I don't have a clue about that. I don't.
Oh,
That's okay. Thank you.
let's go to Bootsy. He's had his hand up for a while.
Hi, yeah. Sorry about my voice, by the way. I'm a little sick right now. But Chris, one of the things that we can talk about, I'm happy to sign an NDA with your legal representation, and if you're able to provide the information about those purchases, I can backtrack, essentially work backwards to figure out exactly how much money Russ has or had at any given point, which would mean that you would be able to better defend yourself legally in the divorce case. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about before you got pulled into this space. I'm very happy to help you with that. If you need help with it, I'm happy to talk to your lawyer as well, because I think it's important that we figure out going to try to claim that he only has X amount, and we should probably figure out what X actually stands for in this case.
Right. I would have to be advised by my lawyer before I can make a decision on that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I can give you an email, and your representation can email me or call me or whatever they need to.
Only because all I want out of any of this is full custody of my son. I literally do not care about anything else. I was a single for 13 years before I met Russell. So I know how to be a single parent. You know what I'm saying? I do not care
Right.
about the money and the assets. I just want my
Well,
child.
but it's definitely
And so I
it's
don't want
definitely over 10 million. So I mean, you
so I don't
definitely
Okay,
want
but
anything
so
to come back and bite me later on. You know what I
for
mean?
sure,
Like
which
because
is why.
he can sue me for all of this and I don't
Sure,
want.
but that's if you're able to, when you talk to your legal representation, have them contact me, because I do this for a living. So they can
Okay.
contact me. I'm happy to help try, because I'm trying to figure this out anyways for nothing. I'm doing it for free because I'm interested in understanding it. But you kind of hold a key right now to being able to figure out a lot of things for a lot of people. And part of that, whether you want to or not, I think it's important that if he had a lot of money and is going to be taking care of himself, you should be able to know exactly how much you deserve. And that way, take it or not is up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you should have the option to say that what belongs to you is yours, right?
I ain't worried about that. Whether I want it or not, I know I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right. So I
and
just want
so
us to be able to give an actual dollar amount to it. And with the information that you have, again, I'm happy to sign any NDA, I don't have to say a thing to anyone ever, but it's what I like to do is try to figure this stuff out. And I worked with law firms in the past, happy to work with your lawyer to figure it out. So I just hope you keep that in mind when we talk in the future.
well, the biggest thing I'm trying to do right now is get a restraining order on him because now he's threatening that he's gonna go take my son from school. And he's been blowing up my email all day. Stop posting stuff on Twitter. I like bro, you're out here having a whole ass affair and you're worried about me posting on Twitter? Like, nah. I don't know. I appreciate y'all listening and I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here. All I can do is just be advised by my lawyer for the next step, which I have a consultation with a different lawyer here locally, not the Alaska lawyer, on Tuesday, but they want $10,000 for a retainer. And I don't have that kind of money because he locked me out of all the money and assets. So I do not know how.
I think we could hold a fundraiser on your behalf. I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, we can do that, but here's the thing. That's part of the reason it's important to figure out how much money Russ had, especially if he had it illegitimately, is that you are going to be taking on a legal fee, and they can handle it if they think that there's proper reason that he should be paying you. So part of this whole thing, I know, don't have to worry about being painted as some sort of greedy person for not wanting to pay exorbitant legal fees, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been put in this ridiculous situation because of somebody else. You need to be represented properly, or he will get away with doing whatever he wants. That's the problem with our system right now, is that you got to have the money to play the game. But part of it is, if they think that there is money that he's hiding, then you will not have to pay up front because they know they'll get it from him. So if for no other reason, when you talk to these lawyers, one important thing to do is to say that you believe that there was a lot of money hidden away in these wallets. And the thing that I do is find those, because the lawyers aren't going to know how to do it.
Christina, where's your son now? Like he's with you, or?
He's with me, yeah. I am currently in my house right now. My name is on the title of this house, and my lawyer advised that he can't kick me out of here. That he moved out and he resides in an apartment now. He changed his address to over there, so he gets mail there. Therefore, that's where he resides. So, and you guys, he has been stalking me, like legitimately stalking me. He encrypted the data on my phone. I have no doubt that he is paying the team to encrypt the data on my phone and my social media. And he put a tracking system on my car. And he's been stalking me through the security system in my house. And when I was gone in Alaska, he came into the house. He took me off of the security system. He deleted me as an admin. He deleted all the security footage I had of him and Samantha cheating. And so I don't have that proof anymore because he deleted it off the panel. And so when I came back from Alaska and I moved back into my house, I had to call Vivint Security and have them come to my house and uninstall the panel and every single camera that Russ had installed in this house and put a new system in. Like, that's how bad it was. And even with that and with that stalking proof, they still would not give me a restraining order. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
We got a question from Blockchainiac. What up, Blockchainiac? You better be ready to pull the trigger.
So, have you heard the name Tim Klaus before?
I'm sorry?
Have you heard the name Tim Klaus before?
No.
That's just a quick question. But look, my heart goes out to you what happened and all, but one of your posts back in the day pretty much said, this is from a lifetime of investments and this and that. You were actually directing it myself and Slim Jesus, which he called you a bad word, which wasn't cool. But were you okay with this before all this happened? I mean, that's it kind of seemed like you were perpetuating the Saitama life then, but now this happened and you're all against it.
Hold on,
you knew the Lambo where it came from.
Okay, hold up, bro. Hold on. People keep saying stuff like that to me, but let me tell you something. As a wife, and as somebody who's been married to this man for 10 years and been together for a total of 12, of course I supported him. Of course I supported him and him building a business for himself to better provide for his family. That was all before I knew what he was doing. That was back when I was not even paying attention. Did I reap the benefits of the money? Sure, hell I did. But that was because I believed in him and I trusted him.
But did you lie to investors and tell him that all the money was from successful investments before Saitama, which it wasn't? You were good back then when you were attacking us over it, but now something happened to you, which sucks. That's terrible. I hope you and your kids do well. This dude's a dirtbag, and we know this. But it seems like you were all good with it back then until now. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. I am going to be leaving this.
I removed him. I removed him. Sorry about that, Christina. We don't want you to feel like you're being attacked. That was just one person who we had added up. So, you know, we're on your side here.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, sure, I reap the benefits of the money and the money he was taking from Saitama and, you know, buying my love, obviously. You know, but to me, it all makes sense now. He was just buying me all this materialistic shit to keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? That's what narcissistic people do.
Do you now looking back now? Looking back now, do you believe that Saitama is a scam?
Oh yeah, my whole family believes it's a scam. He fucked over my family too. My sister and her husband lost $10,000, never got a dime back.
Wow, he had millions.
Probably tens of millions, to be quite honest.
So what you're saying, Christine, is that all of us, it has been trying to say to the people, Saitama is a scam. I mean, Falter and Kelvin, a lot of more people, it is a scam. That's what you believe.
Yes, the same shit that we've been saying for months, that it's a scam. He doesn't know fuck all about business. He's not a businessman. He's just another fucking common criminal. Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and you're right. And I know that now. And that's why I'm divorcing him.
All right, go ahead.
Y'all need to understand something too. You guys need to pull up records and information on Russ from when we were living in Alaska. He was working as a financial person. I don't know, remember exactly what his title was, but he was working at one of my native corporations in Alaska. Okay. And he ended up getting fired from there because he was taking money from there as well. There was something that happened with the finances there. And the board of directors caught on to it and he got fired for that.
That's the museum?
Yes. It's called the Alutiiq Museum, ALETIIQ. That's where he was working, and he got fired from there, and it had something to do with financial stuff.
Okay, thank you. Sauce, go ahead.
He had his hand before me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crypto Creepo, go ahead.
Crypto Creepo, are you there?
2. Crypto Creepo, come on.
No? All right. Go ahead.
I can say because he sent me a DM to ask a question for him, and I didn't ask it because, sorry, I just didn't think it was relevant. But the question he has is he wants to know if Max, what's Max's last name, guys?
Hernandez.
Yeah, Max Hernandez has any kind of relationship with Russ. Like, are they related? Are they family? I don't think they are, personally. I don't even know why I'm asking this, but that's the question. He's DM'd me a few times asking.
That was a terrible question.
I know,
next
that's
question.
Why I didn't ask
Sauce,
it. That's
go ahead.
why I didn't bring it up. That's why I ignored
Chris. Chris, I just have a question for you because I know now that you see and you're saying that Saitama is a scam. I just want to know, do you know how Russ met these original devs and their involvement with all of this? That's what I want to know.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I want to know if you've met these original devs that was in Saitama with Russ and their involvement with all of this.
So the question is, how did Russ meet the development team for Saitama? Do you have any insight on that?
Honestly, I don't know details about that. This is all something that he just started doing out of the blue. It kind of took on himself that I just kind of like went with it. You know what I mean? Um, he had told me that because I asked him, I said, who made you the leader of the pack? You know, like who decided that? And I asked him, like, are you, the owner? And he said, no, this is something that I invested in a while back when it first became a thing. And he said something about he just kind of like took over, and him and the rest of the developers were like the original investors, I guess. And that's really all that I know.
Was Cytomask ever meant to be developed?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know that it was something that was developed by someone else, and they just took over it because it wasn't going anywhere with anything. And so they just kind of took it over and just made something out of it. So they were not the original like developers of the actual coin itself. It was developed by someone else and they just took it over. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, we know all
Yeah.
about that.
Christina, some people are asking me, as far as, is Russ still in Jamaica now? And if so, do you know where he's staying there?
Yes, he is still in
maybe-
Jamaica, and late Monday evening he will be back in Corpus.
Yeah, maybe don't answer the exact location. Let's not entertain that.
Yeah, I don't want to do all that. That's a little reaching a little too far. I don't want to invade his privacy like that. I don't want to get into. But honestly, I don't know.
Hold on
I don't know
Okay,
what
Slim,
he's
if you
saying.
got
Slim
anything to
Jesus?
say, you can come back up. I'm not dealing
Slim
with this
Je-
bullshit
if
right
he
now.
says one single disrespectful thing to her, like, he's kicked out of this
I
room.
already booted him. I
I'm
already booted
not.
him from the panel. He can come back and ask a question, but I'm not dealing with any sort of disrespect at all. At all.
And that goes for everyone in here. Like, Christina's clearly going through a lot. Like, yeah, this is wild information. It's crazy. And there's a lot that we, want to know about, but please have respect for her. She's dealing with a lot. And, this is someone's actual life.
Shout out to Christina for coming up here. Hey, you're a brave woman. We really appreciate you. Much respect to you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you
Yeah,
all, and I'm
again,
really
I just
sorry
want to
that y'all are
thank you
being
for
lied
coming
to
into
like
the
this.
space. And
Sorry, don't interrupt Christina. If anybody else interrupts her, you're getting booted. You can come back. But don't talk over her. Please be respectful. My patience is gonna wear thin for that sort of thing. Go ahead, King Crypto.
Yeah. Hey, Christina, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, Christina, I got a question for you. So, a few months back, I was contacted by it was an attorney for the Security and Exchange Commissions for Texas. Were you aware of anything, like any investigation for Russ that he's investigated or under investigation?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because, like I said, I was contacted by an attorney and they were
Wow,
asking me all
really?
kinds of
Like
questions.
what? Is he being investigated for something? Is that something I should know about?
Yes.
Oh, he's being investigated, Christina.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
like I
God, you
said,
guys.
this is the Tex. It was the Texas Security and Exchange Commission. It's an attorney that works for them, but they were just trying to, this is why I'm asking you if you were aware of any of this.
No, sir, I was not. Oh my God, I'm having a panic attack.
Well, I'm not saying that he's under investigation. I was just asking you if you were aware that he was under any investigation at all.
No, I don't. I did not. I do not. I have no idea.
But we can connect you with the guy that may or may not be conducting such investigation.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just,
he could possibly
I'm
help
just
you as
scared.
well, Christina.
Like, what? What if he does end up going to jail for this? Then my son's really gonna lose his dad.
I
Like this
mean,
is my actual life.
a lot of people got hurt. You know, with a lot of these lies, a lot of these things. You know, it's essentially Saitama was a big long con game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people got hurt. You know, they had secret devs running in the background. I can fill you in later. It's I've been talking about it for so long, but lots of money. I mean, we think the dev
Yeah.
team got away with. We could prove about $200 million, closer to probably 400 million, to be
Yeah.
honest. They got away with a lot of money. I mean, you know, Nam
Yeah.
is, you know, they're telling people to hold their bags while they're cashing out. So a lot of people got hurt from their little con game.
Yeah. So that $10 million wallet you saw, that came from people, real people.
Yeah. I wanted to put this out there too, because I know that in the past Russ would get a lot of questions about this, and I'm sure that people, you know, but I'm just going to make it clear that the house that I live in currently, we bought this house under bankruptcy. We bought this house before Saitama was even a thing. So the house that I have and that I'm living in and that I'm entitled to is solely from our credit and our, you know what I mean? It's not from Saitama. So I just wanted to put that out there. This house was purchased under Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
Okay, Van Peel, go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity, pal. Hey, Chris, man, I just wanted to share two things with you. One is, you know, appreciate you coming out and speaking to the fact, you know, like it takes a lot of strength to do those things, and just the community, I think, is gonna really appreciate that, because not only did that individual hurt you, but they hurt a lot of other people down that line. And the second thing I just want to tell you is, no matter what happens, you're gonna have some blowback from this, because people are gonna talk what they're gonna talk, and people are gonna
Oh
say what
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
But understand, there's a lot of people that appreciate uh, what you're doing, and you're standing up like that, because as long as you can stand up for the storm, you know you're gonna have an umbrella with the people, and that's gonna be much more important than anything else.
100%.
Thank
We got
you.
your
I
back. We
appreciate
got your
that.
back, Christina.
I know. I know I'm gonna get and I already have, you know, I've had people blowing up my Facebook and Twitter and everything and talking trash, and you know, that's the exact reason why I deleted my original Twitter. When this first started, I was Mrs. Saitama Guru on Twitter, okay, and I had over 100,000 followers. And there was this one guy, and y'all probably remember, because he would get on these live feeds, and Russ would have to shut him down every time because he would get on there and call me dirty, nasty names and, you know, all this stuff. And I just was like, it was really mentally exhausting and draining, and I wasn't going to deal with that kind of disrespect anymore. And I was advised by Russ and by the PR team to completely delete my Twitter account, and so I did. And my account has been deactivated for like almost like 6 or 7 months now, and I've never reactivated it. The reason I started this new account just recently is to expose him being in Jamaica with his mistress. That is why.
Okay. Tequila, man.
Hey, Chris, just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything that's happening to you. And they're right. We do have your back 1,000,000%. I just have a question with regards to one of Russ's closest friend. I won't say his last name, but Andy and Abelinda. What is their relationship with Saitama? Because I know Andy was promoting it very heavily early on. He's been on some of our spaces, and he just drops out. Any hard relationship, Saitama, between Andy and Abelinda?
I don't. I'm not involved, like, really with anything like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Islander, go ahead.
Hey, first and foremost, I apologize if I talk to you. And I'm going to keep this short for the guys in here that know me because I can be long-winded at times. But yeah, thank you for having the courage to come up and tell your narrative. The one question is going to be a little different from the rest of the questions that you're going to get here in this space, and that speaks to integrity. And there are a lot of people that are almost, you could say, religious zealots about the faith that they have in your husband's project, the Saitama. From your personal experiences and your personal knowledge, what would you say to those that are diehard true believers in that? What words would you have for them right now? And thank you, Faltron, for bringing me up after shutting me down about 30 million times. I got more words than you shut me down for. But
You know how I do around here.
I'm sorry, it was me. You just,
okay.
I still haven't heard a question. So if there's, if you're questioning as to why I put you down, this is why.
No. My question was for Chris, and my question was, what words does she have for those that?
Are you asking me like what advice I would give to the true followers and believers of Saitama? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am. From your perspective, what you know from the inside. I'm talking about, because one thing, it's like in North America, developed countries, that's one thing to invest. But Saitama's reached a lot of third world countries where, a small investment in a massive return is life changing for them, even if it's only a couple $100. And
No, I get it. I understand what you're trying to ask.
What words do you have for those people that make $100 a month and they've
Let
saved
her
up for
answer.
3 months?
Come on, spit it out, buddy. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
All right.
That's on people's personal choices. You know what I mean? If you truly feel it in your soul that you can believe in Russ and Saitama and the rest of the dev team, that's on you, Like I can't speak for others. I'm just speaking that I know the truth about my husband. I'm also not trying to be out here and bash him and be like, his business ventures are total shit. Obviously, there's some good to it, and obviously there's people that it has changed their lives. It has changed our lives. But at the same time, on the other hand, it wasn't all true, and like, so that came back on me too. That slapped me in the face too. I don't want that to have to be the case for other people and other families out there. And so hence why I'm telling my truth. But when it comes to other people investing, the Seda Realty, all that, like it could be a good thing. But I just believe that he needs to be voted out and step down as the CEO and somebody else take his place. Because at this point in time, he's very unstable and he is ruining the entire community because people do not believe in him anymore. And with that just being said, Saitama and Seda Realty and all that has been created can be taken to the next level with a different CEO. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Hellcat.
Hey, thank you for having me up. I have one question. What was Russ's involvement with Willie D?
Question. In all honesty, I've never been fond of Willie D. I'll just put that out there just because I'm a person who's all about vibes and energy, and that man has always rubbed me the wrong way. His involvement was with Willie D is he's been to Houston a few times and spent some time with him. Willie D has actually been out here to Corpus Christi on a few different occasions. Russ has partied with him. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
Good question, Hellcat. Can I also ask, did Russ know that Michael Thompson was never actually in the NBA?
What?
Did were you under the impression that Michael Thompson was in the NBA?
I was. Yes, I was. I met him.
Did Russ tell you that Michael Thompson was in the NBA?
Yes.
Unreal. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, Michael Thompson never was in the NBA. That whole thing was a fraud, by the way. Go ahead.
Wow.
Isn't that unreal?
See, this is what I'm saying, guys. And this is like the other guy that came on and asked that question. He was kind of rude, and I responded kind of rude. But the truth is, when you're in love with somebody and you're married to someone for that long, you trust them and you believe their every word. You know, like,
well, the whole community believed that Michael Thompson was in the
right.
NBA, and none of us even bothered to look. I looked through every roster between 1970 and 2023 or 2022. Sorry, and he did not play in the NBA. Once I called it out, he blocked me. He was never in the NBA. He came out and said he couldn't believe people thought he was in the NBA. He never was in the NBA.
I don't want to be out here bashing Michael either. He's a very, very good, genuine man, and I've met him on a few different occasions, and I would never want to say anything bad about that man. But he is one of the people that Russ confides in about this divorce. So I'll just put that out there.
Right.
There's a Reddit thread for it, Valtron. I typed it in and just typed Saitama after, and you'll see the Reddit thread.
Right. Yeah, he was never in the NBA, so he seems genuine. That's why I loved him. He's a good con man. He even wrote a book on how to get rich. About 6 months after filing for he wrote a book on how to get rich about 6 months after filing for bankruptcy. Anyway, I'm not kidding.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Go ahead, Godwave.
I just got a quick question. Thanks for letting me up here to speak. Why is Skirpy Social still a little bitch?
What?
All right. Okay. None of that today. That'll be another day. We'll have a space about that one. You guys can go at it. That'll be a good space.
You're making me want to have a drink, stressing me out over here.
All right, let's go.
I'll drink with you. Let's do it, Christina. What are we drinking?
Vodka and margarita. Oh my God, this is too much, y'all. There's so much stuff I didn't even know.
Isn't that the scammer guy? Was that the scammer guy?
No. Do you know that Ross just tweeted out 8 minutes ago saying this is nonsense? To not pay any attention. Yeah, I just pinned it on top if you can see it. Maybe
nonsense. What? Russ, come up here. Just let's have a little chit chat. You know, put down the marijuana. I know you're out there. I know you're out there in Jamaica having a good time. Put down the pot and come up here and talk to us, Russell.
Come talk to us, Russ.
Did he log in?
Yeah, he posted it.
Hey, we are Saitama. We'll hold the space the next day or so to clear up any unnecessary rumors. However, unneeded, I will entertain some of it. Please pay no attention to things that don't deserve any attention.
Okay.
Mental
let me just
is a real thing.
Okay, y'all, let me just put this out there. He's gonna try to fight back to cover his own ass. He's gonna be out here telling y'all I'm cheating on him. I'm out here doing blow. I'm out here, cheating on him with multiple men. Like, I've been cheating on him for years. That's what he's telling everybody because that's what his mistress is telling him. He might have some receipts about talking to somebody on Snapchat that he caught me talking to. He encrypted my data and found out I was talking to somebody on Snap and blah, blah, blah. And the list goes on. So if he wants to entertain it, y'all can entertain it back if you want.
What he's saying, Christina, basically, is he's saying you're not in here because of anything that he's doing. You're in here because you're mentally ill, is what he's claiming.
Yeah.
I just want to know what his lurking profile is. Let's all take a guess at the 650 people that are in here.
I mean, if he wants to get on and he wants to say what he has to say.
I bet it's a picture of him with a mustache on.
Oh God! Sometimes I just sit here and I just laugh, because it's like so fucking petty and ridiculous and childish, and it's just like this round and round hamster wheel of toxicness, and he will not let me go. It's like, dude, if you want a divorce, where are the papers? I'll sign the motherfuckers. Sorry,
All right.
excuse my language.
Let's sign those motherfuckers. Let's get a question from, we'll go to Sandstorm, then we'll go to Urinamine.
I'm good. What's up?
All right, so just real quick, I talk to my wife about literally everything that it happens with crypto and stuff, even though I probably shouldn't, but I do because she's my wife and I don't leave her out of the loop. So I know he's talked to you about some things. Do you have any info on maybe like why Steve left, why Max left? Like, those were two key players in the whole project and they just kind of left. And I know that Russ was close with
Yeah. That's a good question too. Because I've always wondered that as well. Because Max, he was always super cool. Like I've never met him or anything, but I've talked to him before. I've seen him on videos and stuff, and he was always a very nice, sweet, respectful person. The only thing that Russ has ever told me about Max, and he's never badmouthed him or anything. It's just that he said Max just was not meeting the level of expertise we're in need of. And that's about all that I know is that he just wasn't coming out with the stuff quick enough as they needed it, and it wasn't efficient enough to put it out there to the community, and the expertise just weren't there. So that's basically all I know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. A lot of us said that, and then we got told that we were wrong about that, but that makes perfect sense. What about Steve? When Steve just kind of disappeared back in December, but all the streams were on Steve's channel. Did you hear anything about that?
I did hear about that, and all I really know about that is that I think he was starting to catch on that like things weren't as they seemed, and I think that he was catching like he started to call things out and he started to question things, and so people, so then they just cut him off.
Awesome, thank you, Christina.
Christina, I have a question for you, and I know we already asked this question, but there were like 200 people in the room when we asked this question before. There's now almost 700 people in the room, so I'm going to ask you again. In your opinion, is Saitama a scam?
What? I'm sorry, say again?
In your opinion, do you think that Saitama is a scam?
Yes.
For a second time, she just said it again, guys. It is a scam.
All right, we'll go to Urinamine, then do Austin.
Chris, I came in late to the space, so I may have missed some of the exposition on this, but I'd love to hear what the explanations were from Russ once you guys started receiving all of this money coming from Saitama. Like as a married man and as a happily married man, if I started bringing in millions of dollars, my wife would definitely be asking questions. So I'd love to hear what he told you and what ended up duping you into the scam speak.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's shit is what it is, and I just want this to be over with so I can move on with my life, and I don't have to see, talk, hear, or deal with any of this ever again. I don't want anything to do with Saitama. I don't want any part in it. I don't want any share in it because I fully, wholeheartedly believe it's fraud and a scam, and he's lying to all of you, and I think y'all should get out before it's too late.
Right, I track with you on that. My question was, what did he say to you in the midst of it all? What gave you confidence that he was trustworthy in the midst of it all? I understand you guys are married, but we're talking
like what has he said to me in the midst of it all? Like, what do you mean?
That's what I'm asking. Like, so when he started bringing in tons of money from Saitama, and you started seeing all these lavish purchases, what did he tell you it was from? Like, I mean, like you said, he's not a master's in finance. He's lied multiple times, so I'm curious what he said to keep you at bay, or at least keep your curiosity at bay as his wife.
He's a pathological liar, and he's a malignant malignant. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie, obviously, and I'm starting to catch on to that now. And anything that I like, he will not entertain having a conversation with me. He has blocked me on everything. I have not seen him or talked to him. He will not engage in conversation with me because he knows that what he's doing is wrong and he knows that he's lying. And so anytime that I question him about Samantha, I will not get an answer. He will answer my questions with a question. And then he will turn things around and he'll start pointing fingers at me for shit and bringing stuff up from the past. Like nothing ever we can never get to the root of the problem, or I can never get a straight up answer from him about anything. He will do whatever it takes and stop at nothing to cover up his lies. And so, to answer your question, he really hasn't said anything to me other than make threats and tell me how much he hates me and I'm a slut and I'm a whore and he never wants to see me again. Like, it's just insults and threats. That's all.
Okay, we got a lot of hands. We got Austin, and then Abdallah, then Doshi, then Crypto, Pulse, then Andre, and Lisa.
What's up, guys? Good to see Faltron putting a space on that holds over 700 some odd people in here now. So congrats to you, bro. No, but the questions I have for you, I have a couple. The first one is when the Vegas event was happening, and sorry if this question was already asked. I came in a little late here. But before the leading up to the Vegas event, did you know leading up to this Vegas event that it was all just sort of hype? There really wasn't anything behind it. The whole SATA mask and SATA Pro and all that stuff that was out there really wasn't created or developed. Did you have any awareness of that?
That's a good question. I was trying to be a part of the planning of all of that, and I was and I had no idea until after the fact that it wasn't like what it was supposed. When I found out that the whole SATA Pro thing was supposed to launch and it didn't, like, I was disappointed in him for that. And I had no idea about any of that until after we got back from Vegas. I just went along with whatever he was doing because I trusted him and believed in what he was doing at that time. I think it was all just hype. It was all just a big ass party. I don't think that it was really anything other than that.
So was he? So obviously the pump happened. One of the big issues that I think a lot of us investors into the team,
I'm sorry,
including us,
out a
was
little
selling,
bit.
During the process of this whole entire thing, and then saying that they weren't selling. Are you able to confirm 100% that obviously we know that takes place, but hearing it from you, I think is a different puts a different spin on it for me. I just want to know was that actually going on with during the Vegas event and before the Vegas event?
I have no idea what was going on before or after as far as stuff like that. But what I do know is after the Vegas event is when he bought the $26,000 diamond necklace for me and bought the $300,000 Lambo. It was directly after the Vegas event.
And just to answer the question with the Lambo, did you really not know about the Lambo? Is that why you posted saying that he drives a Toyota and Tundra and that's all you guys had? Did you not know about the Lambo?
I'm not sure what you're asking. I knew about the Lambo. I knew he was going to buy it. I was there when they delivered it to my house.
That he did not, in fact, have any money before Saitama.
Okay, yeah, and I guess that's sort of what I'm getting to here. And like I said, I was a little late to this whole thing. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to hear. And
right, and for anybody late, this is a recorded space, so you can go back and replay some of it. We got a lot of people up here. Please don't take offense if I'm moving people around. Thank you for the good questions. Austin, who else
Definitely
we got?
go
Who's
back
next, Cowbell?
Sure, but I'm
Yeah,
just
I was next.
definitely go back and listen to the beginning because I feel like a lot of the questions that the really important questions were spoken about then.
And if
also,
a
in case
question has
you're
already been
wondering-
asked, maybe we should just stop the people and refer them back because we need some sort of different questions at this point. So whoever was
Yeah.
next,
Yeah.
It's a
All
bad
right,
thing.
so thank you guys for thank you Feltron, Campbell, and Coke Zero. Hey, I got two questions. One of them is like from the last 4 or 5 months, he's lost a lot of weight. Do you suspect any drug use? And I don't know if that question was asked. And the second question is, we all remember when they got rid of all the LLCs. Do you Why have don't any information let her about answer why your two? first question first, and then Okay, go.
She
I
said
think his
already, but
question,
Earlier,
Christina,
she said yes, he did. He was addicted to Percocets in the past, and he has been using cocaine heavily
from
currently.
the time he wakes up till the time he goes to sleep. And I believe it was a quote that all of your money is going up his nose. The direct quote. All right. Second question. Do you know why the reason why they got rid of the LLCs? Is it because of legal issues, or do you know any? Do you have any suspicion that they got rid of the LLCs of upcoming legal troubles from his lawyers or anything like that?
I don't know anything. That I have no idea.
Since, as you know, Saitama has registered a few LLCs, couple in Corpus Christi, and some in Florida, and then also another one in Maine. So I think, from what I know, I think there was like almost 3 LLCs.
We've dug up a lot of information on your soon-to-be ex-husband. We can actually be of a lot of help to you and your lawyer. We are the perfect people to be talking to. Let's move along to the next question. Thank you, Abdullah. Or I'm sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name. Abdallah? My bad, bro. I'm trying here.
just for you guys
Who's
to know that Max
next?
Equation is in the house. Max
Shout out to
Equation.
Max. Boo, boo, boo.
What's up, Max? You're welcome to come up and speak with us if you'd like. We would love to have you up here. I think next is probably I'm trying to remember who is here. It's let's go Vision Protocol and then Lisa, and I'm sure Doshi for Life has something very interesting to say and out of this world. Go ahead, Vision.
Hello. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I would like to ask, like, I don't get the whole issue. You have a personal problem with in your marriage on social media.
Any disrespect towards Christina will be welcomed with a trip to the bathroom, and I will flush you down the toilet like the turd that you are. Next question.
Also, this is a registered LLC, and this is most of the people in this room's money, and so I do think that it involves us. It's something that we should be concerned about. If you're not concerned about it, I question why, and if you're involved in it.
Okay, next question. Who was up next? What do we got? Lisa. I booted her a couple times. I wasn't sure if she was here to ask me a question. Sorry about that, Lisa.
Hi, hello. Can you guys hear me?
You're good. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I don't have a question. I was also in Saitama in May, but I'm listening to you guys. This is a really, really shame and pity for poor people who want to stay in crypto. The things I'm hearing about Saitama, they are chasing people away from crypto. This is really sad to hear. I
Right.
mean it from the
Saitama
bottom
is one
of
of the biggest scams to ever into DeFi.
yes,
We don't need to. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up, Lisa. I'm sorry. Christina's time is very valuable. We don't need any commentary or anybody's take on the world or opinions. This is strictly to ask Christina questions. You must be respectful. I will boot you out of the room. I don't know who is next, but go ahead.
We have Andre and we have
Dochi was next.
Okay, yeah, it was me. I have a question for Christina. First of all, sorry about what you are facing now with this guy. He hurt a lot of people. So, have you know if he ever filed taxes because of it? Did he tell you how much taxes he paid last year? And one other question, please. I don't want to take your time more. Uh, um, has Ras ever told you he has a tie with this guy, Crypto Alert? Did he say he paid Crypto Alert or those influencers? Did he ever mention anybody that he paid them a lot of money? Thank you.
No.
Nice.
And your
I
first
have a
question,
question.
as far as
I'll go
taxes,
ahead.
she did answer that already earlier. So if you want to go back and listen to that, I believe the answer, Christina, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he was not claiming it on his taxes because he would have to pay child support with it. So the money that
Yes,
he's not
the
claiming.
money that he has tied up in Dubai right now, I was advised by my lawyer that what he's doing is fraud and illegal. That he is not reporting that money he has over in Dubai to the IRS so that he doesn't have to report income, because if he reports that as income, he's going to have to pay a crap ton of money in child support.
All right, and Brad, do you have something to say? Andre, it's your turn.
I think he already spoke.
I've got a good one if you're ready for me, Faltron.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so first, thank you for coming on here, Christina. This is a very vulnerable thing, and your time is valuable, and we appreciate it. But my question is not just for the Saitama community, because there were a lot of communities that were secondary and tertiary to what Saitama was doing. So if you don't have an answer for this, that's fine. But last year, when the initial projects were announced for listing on Saitamask, the run-up to that Vegas had communities experiencing Saitama holders moving over to their communities excited for that launch. Do you know anything about the communities that were initially listed on Saitamask and whether or not they actually paid listing fees, whether or not bags were held and dumped? Those communities all suffered greatly at the hands of that failed launch. And I'm just curious what we could all learn about that. Thank you.
That's a good question. I don't really know how to answer that because I said before, I never really paid close enough attention to all of this. And I apologize for that. I was just very, I guess, like illiterate and incompetent about this whole crypto stuff just because I don't understand it. I have no idea what other involvement he was with or doing as far as that event. But I do truly believe it was just and to hype up the coin so that he can start getting a following so that he can start doing what it is he's doing now.
Sure.
I don't have a direct answer for that. I'm sorry.
You don't owe me or anyone else an apology. So don't feel like you have to tell me you're sorry for something you didn't play a role in. Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you. And let me add to that. Did you know that your husband was on the dev team of other tokens before Saitama?
What? No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, Russ was on the dev team of Hoj Finance as well as Akita Inu. So if anybody in the room wants to look at that, Russell Armand was on the dev team of those two tokens. I don't know if that's common knowledge, but it is true. Okay, we got a lot of people. Let's move through this.
I guess I'll have to look that up because I didn't know that either. I mean, you guys are educating me just as much as I am you because I'm serious when I tell you I just did not pay attention enough, and that's my fault.
Yeah, I could write the book on a lot of things related to Saitama.
Oh yeah, write the book. Yeah, right.
Okay, get out of here, Slim.
I mean, I was just over here busy being a wife and a mother, you know, and just doing my duties as that. Because that's what I know and what I do. And I am not tech savvy or business savvy, and I know nothing about crypto. I don't even have a bag in Saitama. He never set me up with one, so I have no idea about how any of that works.
This is all crazy.
Wow.
Rashid, go ahead, and then let's go when he's done. Let's do Speak Easy and then Crypto Wizard.
Hey, thanks for hosting this. Chris, you're awesome. Thank you for your bravery and courage in speaking out. Quick question. There were a lot of endorsements that came out throughout the past couple months. Were all of those legitimate? And second, I just saw Saida, your husband, he's going to be hosting a space at 1 will you be joining?
No.
It's fair enough. Yeah, he doesn't deserve it.
He should just come here if he wants to speak with us. I mean, why open another space? We're all here. There's, over
I
800
just
people in the room.
Wait, Chris, did you say no
you
to
know,
my?
we've had a lot of ups and downs in our marriage, guys, and we've both hurt each other in many, many ways, but we've always overcome those. But this, you guys, that was my best friend. My best fucking friend, and I will never forgive them for this ever. Two wrongs don't make a right, y'all, and this is the most humiliating, disrespectful thing anybody has ever done to me. And the audacity of that woman, like, you guys can do your own research about that woman if you want, but let me tell you a quick story really quick about her. I know that this doesn't have anything to do with crypto or the coin. This is more of a personal thing, but since it's out there now, let me just tell you. So this girl has always been a drug user. And I have never in my entire life ever used drugs in my entire 40 years of existence other than smoke pot. And the first time that I have ever tried cocaine was when she was fucking my husband for the first time and sticking it up my nose with her fingernail. Okay? That's the kind of woman that he's leaving me for. And let me tell you, this girl was in a very, very dangerous relationship with an abusive man who spent 5 to 6 years in prison for sexually assaulting a minor. Okay. This woman had this man around her 5-year-old daughter, and this guy beat the ever living shit out of Samantha with a gun. And he beat her so badly that he left her for dead and that she almost bled to death. And when I saw a picture of it, because she was my best friend, I reached out to her. And after that, I allowed her to come and live in my home for months. And she was probably having an affair with my husband the entire time behind my back. They have only now, I'm telling you, that girl, like, if that's somebody that he wants to continue his life with, that is not a trophy wife. She is not wife material. She is not somebody who you're gonna want running the site business alongside him. It'll just, I'm telling ya.
Christina, would you say that it's because of her that you think he started using drugs again?
Oh, absolutely. She's his dealer. The guy that he gets his coke from is Samantha's friend. And this guy lives just 5 minutes down the street from Russell's apartment now.
And this is the guy that you said was part of the cartel or whatever?
Yes, he spent 10 years in prison for drugs, and he has killed someone, and he is involved with some very, very dangerous people. Samantha herself is involved with very, very dangerous people. She still, in fact, talks to guys that she has screwed around with that are in prison, and she sends them money. This is the kind of woman he's leaving me for.
Insane. Go ahead, Rashid, and then Crypto Dick and Crypto Wizard.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to be honest, if Christina's coming out here to be clean about everything, I really think that Max Hernandez, if you're listening to me, bro, you really should come up here too and speak about, the whole, fuzz and how did you leave Saitama, or were you kicked out, or whatever happened behind the scenes that we don't know about, because there's a lot of money and a lot of communities and little guys too who barely can afford money. They're putting their money into this project. And West dude did just put out their tweet saying that in 15 minutes he will open up a space to speak about what I think Christine is speaking about right now. My question
Well,
is
and
this, right?
hold on.
Wait.
Let me just interrupt you. No, hold on. This is my space. Hold on one sec. I will go right back to Rashid. So we are going to be piping that in, and we will have a live feed. And Christina will be responding in real time to that. But me and Max, we are going to be working on something. I'm going to be reaching out to him, and we'll do another one of these spaces, just me and him. So Max just followed me back for the first time, so I think we're going to work something out. But go ahead, Rashid.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is not everybody should leave. I know how you're enjoying this, Faltron, but what I wanted to say really was, if he's not gonna admit right now that he's in Jamaica with his mistress, and I'm sorry, Christine, for saying this because I know it hurts you. If he doesn't want to admit this right now, then I can literally say everything else comes out of his mouth next is complete bullshit. If you're not going to be a man up to say that where you are right now, and this is the reason why we put a lot of money and eventually you didn't show up to the Expo event where a lot of us lost, thousands and thousands of dollars in the project, and you said you couldn't be there because of the vaccination card while you out there with the mistress and you're leaving your wife up here with us. So I think everything after that comes out complete bullshit out of your mouth. So at least be man up about this.
All right, we go ahead with Crypto Wizard. What's up?
And Christina, you might have to unmute your mic because I did mute everybody, so you will have to. You want to respond? You're going to have to unmute your mic. And when I pipe in the space that Russ is having, I am going to be removing everybody off the panel. So don't take it as any form of disrespect. We're welcome to have you back.
I'm glad that you're doing that because, especially where they're not going to allow Christina in there to speak her part.
Sorry, I
it's nice.
I had to mute my mic for my kid. I like it's a really bad look for him, you guys, for not showing up in Dubai and making all of those excuses about the vaccination because that was a lie too. He's never been vaccinated. He has a fake card that he bought from somebody in LA, California the last time he was there. The reason he took a picture of it is because he doesn't physically have it. I have the card. It's fake. They wouldn't let him into Dubai because it's a fake vaccination card.
So Russ does have a passport since he was able to go to Jamaica, it sounds like.
Yes, he does have a passport.
Okay, let's check.
So-
Go ahead, Crypto Dick.
Christina, the fraud charges that he had against him for signing the opioid prescriptions when you were in Alaska, that is not what kept him from Dubai.
He was addicted to opioids that he was getting from the VA for the pain in his back because he was hurt in the Navy. He was unemployed and could not afford the prescription, and so he was forging signatures to get the pills and went to federal prison for that. And the reason why he got away with that is because his military background.
So I also heard that there's a rumor that he was forging checks from the museum as well. Is there any truth to that?
I do not know that for sure. My sister actually just brought that up to me the other day. I did not know anything about that either. He told me that he got fired from there because they found out about the forging of the signature. But it was the forging of the signature and the money and the finances. He was working in the financial department at the museum. And the board of directors caught on to it. And because when he forged his signature and he was about to get arrested, it got put in the local newspaper. So you guys, it is all public information. You guys can look that up. And he ended up getting out of going to jail or getting arrested because he had a court hearing and he was able to, persuade the judge that he's a good person because of his military background. And that's how he got out of it.
Okay. We've got just a couple more questions. Russ is going to be opening up a space. We are going to be piping it into this space. I'm hoping Christina can stick around for a live reaction to it. I think it would be good and allow
Oh, you
her
guys,
to.
that is so much drama. I'm not even about to deal with none of that.
Oh, I mean, you know, he is holding a space in your honor. We might as well respond to it, right? No?
And if he's going to slander you, I mean, you certainly don't have
Of
to
course
respond to
he's
anything
going to
you don't want
respond, you guys, because he's trying to cover his own ass. He's going to get on there and he's going to say, I cheated on him. I've been cheating on him. Let me tell you something. I was talking to another man. Yes. Why? Because we're going through a fucking divorce. Like, I mean, he's out here having a whole ass affair and he's worried about me. Like, nah.
And even if you did cheat on him, I mean, cheating on someone doesn't mean that they shouldn't pay their taxes, doesn't mean that they shouldn't steal millions of dollars from a cryptocurrency.
Girl, high five.
Yeah.
I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, right? I mean, I ain't out here spending $20,000 taking some dude to fucking Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, give me a break.
Right. And for the people in here, I know there were only a couple hundred people in here. You know, Christina talked about how he froze her assets. She has $100 to her name. I mean, and he's not paying child support, not helping take care of the family. Meanwhile, on vacation in Jamaica with his mistress. So, you know, she obviously that's very hurtful as well as very disrespectful to her.
And let me tell you something. He is already going out in public with this girl to places that we conduct business here locally, where everybody knows that I'm his wife. You know, he's already out here on social media and all this with this girl, you know, posting on Snapchat on a vacation with her, and he's worried about me talking to another man. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Like, excuse my language. Sorry, I'm just, you know, roller coaster of emotions over here.
You're totally fine. Crypto Dick, go ahead.
Hey guys, thanks. I'll make it really quick. Christina, thanks for coming up and asking or answering everyone's questions. That's very cool. I'm not looking for anything specific, but I'm wondering if you can sort of about Russ's relationships with the other main devs in the project, Elon, Manny, Nam, those guys. Do you know if they were all on the same page, or was there anyone that he had frequent disagreements with?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think that any of the other devs have a freaking clue what's going on with Russ. I know that when I posted stuff on Twitter, I tried to tag them. I also did try to send them messages, and they have never responded. And then my account got reported. I actually had another account. It got reported and it got deleted, so I couldn't activate that. So that's another reason why I had to open a new account. Russell had blocked me on Twitter. You know, Manny, Gabe, all those other people, I have tried to reach out to them and tell them all of this, and none of them have responded. So I don't know.
Right. So, like in general, over the last couple of years, you don't know if there was anyone, like, was he butting heads with any of them or anything like nothing, hey?
No,
Okay. Thanks.
That was a great question, though. Great question. It's Net and then Gustavo. And if you don't have any questions, you know, put your hand up. If not, we're gonna boot you down. But go ahead, Net.
Hey guys. Hey you guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Question regarding Sata Realty. Was that a true? What did you know about Sata Realty, and did he use the any wallets to purchase that new construction home that you guys have put up on Facebook?
I actually do not know much about Sata Realty at all. That's a very new thing. However, I would like to take credit because it was kind of my idea in the first place, because we were supposed to start investing in real estate locally, right? it wasn't even supposed to be a crypto coin. It was just supposed to be something personal between me and him, investing in real estate here locally to give back to the community, because we were going to start building like tiny houses for homeless vets. That's what the plan was, right? Because that's what I wanted to do, because I studied real estate before. I do not have a real estate license, but I was going to go back to school for real estate here in Texas, so that I could do real estate here. So what happened with that was that he took that idea and made something out of it. The girl, one of my older friends, her name was Gabriella, and she was, and you guys had actually talked to her on some of these live chats before. But was Russ's assistant to begin with, and her husband was working for Russ as well, and he was going to be the land development director. Okay. And when Samantha came back into the picture, Russ immediately fired them and hired Samantha, and then started creating this Seda Realty thing. And now it's a crypto coin, and now it's only over based in Dubai, and all the money is tied up in there. If that, like, if you don't catch on to how much that doesn't even make any sense, then I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't really know any specifics or details about Seda Realty, other than I think that's a scam too. I mean, how are you going to buy real estate in crypto? Like, how does that even make any sense? Like, you're not going to own it.
Right. No, that's. I think that's why. As somebody mentioned in here earlier, somebody from the SEC had reached out to him. I think that may be in relation to. So none of it makes any sense. Saitama doesn't make any sense. Looking back now, as
I'm just telling y'all that this is all fraud. It's all a scam. None of it makes any sense. It was all a setup from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are getting scammed straight up out of your money. And like, he doesn't have any other income coming in other than $3,500 a month from the VA, and all that does is pay our mortgage. You know what I'm saying? All the money and income that he has is coming directly from Saitama. So how he's paying his bills and how he's purchasing things, going on these elaborate trips with his mistress, spending all this money, expensive clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever, it's all coming from Saitama. I promise you. Because he has no other income coming in other than $3,500 a month from the VA. And that's the only income that he's claiming to the IRS on his tax. So that's all a lie too.
You know a Saitama